Hello everybody and welcome back to the Logan Blackman Show YouTube channel. I know it has been a long time, and I know we promised that we'd have a lot of great content out for you this past year, but things get busy. Things get busy. We obviously did the blog post every single week. With the blog post and everything, it kind of made it hard to get a consistent recording time down, but we're going to be better with the videos, at least for this summer. At least I can promise this summer, because of the fact we've got the Euros, which is obviously what you're watching right now, and the 2024 Copa America. And as you know, the United States summer tournaments, we like to follow them throughout the tournament, go game by game, every game that they're available. We go through, preview each game, we pick the starting lineups and all that stuff. We make game predictions and all that fun stuff. We got more of that coming this summer, but for now, we are focusing on the other side of the pond, and we are going to focus on Euro 2024. We obviously did a video for Euro 2020, which weirdly took place in 2021. There was some event that I think took place that made the Euros delay a calendar year, but they kept the same name. It was very interesting how that all worked out, but I remember that tournament was in a lot of different countries around Europe. We saw England and Italy in the final. Luke Shaw scored really early. England obviously lost the game on penalties eventually. It was a rough tournament for England, and Italy rebounded from that, because remember, they missed the 2018 World Cup, so that was a nice rebound for them. So everybody thought, oh, the Italian national team's back, the Italian national team's doing good now. And no, because then they went on to miss the 2022 World Cup, and then now we're back at the Euro. So will history repeat itself again? I don't know. I guess we will have to wait and see about what the Italian national team do this time around. But before we get into any of that, let's make sure to go over the housekeeping items first. Make sure to follow the Logan Blackman Show on every single form of social media, which will all be linked down below. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this. Obviously, you can see on the screen right now, we have got the Telegraph up right now. We have got their Euro 2024 predictor. So we can go through each group. We can try to figure out the standings with each group. We got the knockout stages at the end, but we got the third place games as well. I guess I forgot to mention that. Round of 16. Nope, I don't need a subscription. We got the quarterfinals, we got the semifinals, and of course, we got the final. This is going to be fun. And as you notice, I got the lamp on in the back. It makes me look like I got good ideas. I'm just the brightest bulb in the bunch, pretty much. So all these predictions, one would assume, based off my track record, of course, that these are going to be 100% right. Obviously, they're going to be 100% right. Well, we'll start off with Group A. And the first game of the tournament takes place a week from today, is between host Germany and Scotland. And though Germany haven't necessarily been up to their usual standard in the last few major tournaments they've been in, missing out in the group stage or getting eliminated in the group stage the past two World Cups, getting an early exit in the last Euros as well, and they were in the group of death in that one too. So it's not really, the best run of form for Germany in these tournaments, but as the host, if you look at the history of the Euros, at least the recent history, the past two Euros finals, the host nation, that was France, in England last Euros, made it to the final. Now, they obviously didn't win the tournament, but, making the final is important. I think Germany on home soil, with Julian Nagelsmann as the head coach, they got a lot of very talented players still. I'm intrigued to see what they do up top. Kai Havertz obviously turned a corner towards the latter parts of the season this past season for Arsenal, playing as that false nine role. They've got a lot of very talented players, like Florian Wirtz, with the undefeated Bayer Leverkusen team, Jamal Musiala, Ilkay Gundogan, the captain, not Mats Hummels, almost said that, he got eliminated, he didn't get brought into the squad, but we got Joshua Kimmich, Schlotterbeck, Hummels' Borussia Dortmund teammate. Left back with David Raum, will be very interested to see how he does. Toni Kroos, this will be his last tournament. This is a very well-rounded squad. Just some questions up top, but in this game against Scotland and in the group in general, I fully expect the Germans to come out on top. And Scotland, I am not really too confident with the Scots going into this tournament. I know they've got some talented players. You look at Andy Robertson, Kieran Tierney. A lot of their best players are left backs, pretty much. And you got John McGinn, Scott McTominay's in there. So you got a fun team. They're an easy team to root for to a certain extent, but I'm not really expecting a whole lot from them, so I'm going to pick them coming in fourth. And as for second, you got the Hungarians and you got the Swiss. The Swiss seem to be a pretty consistent outfit in these tournaments. It feels like every single year they're coming in second in whatever group they finish in, but Hungary is very talented. They're very talented. Obviously, Dominic Szoboszlai from Liverpool had a little bit of a downturn towards the end of last season with Liverpool. Saw his way to the bench, but he's the captain of Hungary. Insanely talented. Peter Gulácsi, also in net, plays for RB Leipzig over in Germany. Home field advantage, maybe for the for the German goal or for the Hungarian goalkeeper. Sorry, but the Swiss again. You got Granit Xhaka. We brought up Bayer Leverkusen before. He was one of the main talisman in that Bayer Leverkusen undefeated season. They got Jan Sommer in net. Gregor Kobel, who's one of the best goalies in the world right now, will have to be second fiddle to Jan Sommer as he's one of the most important players on this national team. Xherdan Shaqiri is still kicking in the national team as well. I'm going to go, again, I like Hungary a lot. I do like Hungary a lot, and I don't want to make it look like I'm overlooking them because I feel like in the last tournament, when that quote-unquote group of death that we brought up before, Hungary was kind of looked over, but they qualified really well. I am going to go with the Swiss, though, in second, Hungary in third, and then we're going to have the Scots finishing in last in fourth place. As for Group B, this will be one of the most intriguing groups to watch because, weirdly, Albania, they won their qualifying group, but everybody and their mom is writing them off as coming in last place in this group, and I'm sorry to tell you, I'm probably going to do the same thing here, but we are going to pick Spain to win the group. I think Spain's got a very complete squad. I'm intrigued to see how Alvaro Morata does up top. Obviously, the captain of the national team. Rodri, one of the best midfielders in the entire world. The back line's very interesting as well. You obviously got Unai Simon in net. This will be his third straight major tournament as number one for Spain, although he wears the number 23 jersey. We got Lenormand from Real Sociedad. We got Aymeric Laporte, from El Nasir. We got Alejandro Grimaldo, who just had an insane season with Bayer Leverkusen. It's going to be a constant theme. These Bayer Leverkusen players just played their freaking asses off all season. They're going to be some of the most important players for these teams moving forward. Obviously, Dani Carvajal, but you've also got the likes of, look at the midfield. We brought up Rodri before. You've got also Pedri in there, Martin Zubamendi. You know what? It's an exciting team. You got, look up top, you got Dani Olmo, you got Nico Williams, Joselu, Lamine Yamal from Barcelona, one of the more talented players in the world right now. I'm intrigued to see how much he gets in regards to playing time in this tournament, but Spain, I just feel like they're just going to be the top dogs in this group. And as regards to second, you got Croatia, who have done really well in recent major tournaments, obviously coming in second in the World Cup in 2018, third in this past World Cup. They lost to Spain in the Nations League final just this past year, so there's a lot of talent there. They are getting older. That's the problem here. Ivan Rakitic, obviously no longer part of the team. Still got the likes of Luka Modric, Livakovic at goal. In net, he was one of the better goalkeepers throughout the tournament. In the last World Cup, Brozovic is still there. Like, you've got some talent still there, but it's just you're getting older. Again, Modric is turning 39 years old. 39's he ain't no spring chicken no more. I don't want to count out Luka Modric at all, but 39 is getting a little up there in age. And as for the Italians, like I brought up before, you never know what you're going to get with this team, especially when you look up top. Raspadori will probably be the main number 9 or more as a false 9 because Ciro Immobile did not get brought to the tournament. So we'll see Raspadori probably start in the middle. You got Federico Chiesa there as well. The midfield is a little bit different that we saw from Euro 2020, where, like, no Manuel Locatelli, no Verratti. Like, right now, we got Jorginho, who obviously finished third in the Ballon d'Or that year. You've got the likes of Nico Barella from Inter Milan, who just dominated Serie A this season. You got Pellegrini from Roma, the backline, Bastoni's there, DeMarco at left back, Di Lorenzo at right back from Napoli, and obviously the captain of the tournament, Gianluigi Donnarumma. I did see some shouts for Vicario, who's had a very good season at Tottenham, but Donnarumma was the player of the tournament last time out, and obviously he's now the captain of the Italian national team. So there's a lot of talent there, but there's just so many question marks going into the tournament for Italy. If I had to bet money on just how they do in tournaments, and it's so weird because they won the last one. They literally won the last tournament. I'm acting like they're just a bunch of scrubs, but I think I am going to go... I'm worried. The midfield battle will be very interesting because the age of Croatia may play a factor. I've also got Ivan Perisic in there as well. Completely forgot to bring him up earlier. And Josip Graviol from Manchester City, who played very, very well later in the season. We've said that quite a bit so far in this video, but you know what? I am going to go Croatia, I'm going to go Italy, and then I'm going to go Albania next. I just don't want to overlook Croatia in any way. Group C, this one's fairly easy. England, one of the best national teams in the tournament, one of the more complete teams, one of the two main favorites in this tournament. Obviously got Harry Kane up top, the captain, who's had an insane year for Bayern Munich, just came away with 0 trophies and finished 3rd in the Bundesliga. You've got the likes of Jude Bellingham is going to be one of the front runners for the Ballon d'Or this year with his teammate Vinicius, who we'll talk about when the Copa America kicks off. You got Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice. You got the back line, which has been fairly consistent for England across these past few tournaments. Just depends if Luke Shaw can get healthy enough to play. You obviously brought Trent Alexander-Arnold, but they've listed him as a midfielder. And that partner next to Declan Rice as that number 6 will be very interesting. Whether it's Trent, whether it's, Conor Gallagher, or maybe Kobe Mainoo from Manchester United, or maybe Adam Wharton. Like, there's options there. I know there's going to be people that want to see Cole Palmer slot into that number 10 behind Harry Kane and drop Bellingham back. But with Bellingham having the season that he's had from the number 10 position, I would expect them to keep him there and try to slot someone in next to Rice in that deeper line midfield role. Right now, based off what we saw in the last game where Trent scored a goal for England, I am going to expect Trent to start there early, but Conor Gallagher wouldn't surprise me at all. Kobe Mainoo, as a Manchester United fan, I would love to see Kobe Mainoo start. He had an insane season in his first year out for Manchester United in the senior team anyways. Obviously scored in the FA Cup final against Manchester City. Like, he's an awesome player, great talent. And I expect him to start in some capacity in this tournament. I don't know if he'll be right away, though. And you look at the rest of Group C, Serbia, Denmark, Slovenia. Slovenia obviously got the likes of Jan Oblak, one of the best goalies in the world, and Benjamin Sesko. Scored 14 goals in his debut season for RB Leipzig in Germany. And he obviously scored 7 of those goals in the last 7 games of the season. So he's in red-hot form right now. But so is Serbian striker Mitrovic, Alexander Mitrovic. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. Mitrovic, like, we talk about Ronaldo going absolutely batshit insane in Saudi. Mitrovic is right next to him. Like, he scored 40 goals this season for Al Hilal. Like, and that's not even just that. They've also got the likes of Dusan Vlahovic in there. They've got Luka Jovic in there as well up top. They've got a lot of attacking options. You obviously got Srđan Milinkovic-Savic, who's over there in Saudi as well. Like, they've got a lot of talent on this team. In Denmark, they're always a team that feel like a safe bet in these Euros tournaments. They feel like everybody falls in love with Denmark, but they're getting older. You look at the likes of Christian Eriksen still there. Thomas Delaney's still there. Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, he's not one of the older statesmen there, but he's been there a long time. You look at the back line, relatively solid. I mean, Simon Kjær's still there. Andreas Christensen's there. Joachim Andersen's there. Maul will be there as one of the wingbacks. I'm intrigued to see how Alexander Ba does in this tournament as well. You got Kasper Schmeichel, who's 37 years old. I'm worried about what they're going to do going forward. Yes, Rasmus Højlund is there. He scored 5 goals in the Champions League group stage. He had 10 goals in his debut season in the Premier League for Manchester United. Obviously a great talent, but is he ready to take that leap to be the main number 9 for Denmark going into this tournament? Time will tell on that. But because of past history and how they tend to do in these tournaments, I know there's a lot of Denmark fans who aren't necessarily thrilled with this team going in, but I am. Maybe stupidly, maybe they're going to be one of the teams that disappoint this tournament, but I am going to have Denmark finishing second, followed by Serbia and Slovenia. Group D, France, the best national team in the world right now. They're just freaking loaded. You can make a team, the players they didn't bring to this tournament, and it could compete for the Euros. It's an insane team. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe is now the captain. This is his first tournament as the captain with Hugo Lloris retiring. Guys moved to Real Madrid, finally, which that's what kind of sucks about the day and age and media that we are in, because of the fact that everybody knew he was going to Real Madrid. You could say years before he eventually ended up going to Real Madrid. It was like it's a matter of time before he ends up going. But this team's just stacked. Obviously, Olivier Giroud, this is his last tournament. Antoine Griezmann's still there. You've got the likes of Rabiot. Kante's back in the team. Saliba's, who coming off of a fantastic season for Arsenal. Mike Maignan in net. Like, they're just a freaking stacked unit. Absolutely stacked. So we're going to have them win. As regards to coming second, I'm really stuck between the Dutch and the Austrians. Obviously, Ralph Rangnick, former Manchester United manager, interim manager, I should say, has them playing really well. There's no David Alaba this tournament, so that'll be a big loss. But there is, decent expectations going into this tournament for the Austrians. And the Dutch, much like we've brought up before with like the Italians, you look at the front line for the Dutch, it's not ideal. Yes, you've got some young attackers in there. Xavi Simons for PSV / RB Leipzig, who's on loan there. Cody Gakpo for Liverpool. Memphis Depay is still called in the national team, but Wout Weghorst is still there. He's still kicking it. But you look at the midfield, you got likes of Frankie de Jong, Timo Koopmeijer. You look at the back line, though, they're going to run a back three as they usually do in this tournament. You got Matthijs de Ligt. You've got Virgil van Dijk, Daley Blind still kicking it. You've got the likes of Nathan Ake, Denzel Dumfries, Jeremy Frimpong, who's coming off a fantastic season for the aforementioned Bayer Leverkusen team as a wingback. I know they like Denzel Dumfries in the national team setting, but it's going to be really hard to keep Frimpong from starting. Maybe they line him up as one of those front three attackers, which he did at times for Bayer Leverkusen this last season. It'd be a very interesting tactic for them. They're going to have a new goalie this tournament. Obviously, Newport did not get called back in the team. That dude, he's gotten 5 international appearances. All of them came in the 2022 World Cup. Fair play, my guy. I'm going to expect Bart van Bruggen from Brighton to start in net. Flecken will also be there as well from Brentford. But we'll see. We'll see how they go this tournament. I am going to pick the Dutch to finish second, but I am hesitant about that because I do like Austrians' chances. And Poland, I always get kind of nervous when a national team is so heavily reliant on one individual. That's why I was so nervous about Sweden every single year in the Euros, because they're so heavily reliant on Zlatan to do everything that he would draw back and take away from any goal-scoring things that they would have. And Poland, I just never have faith in them in international tournaments. I just don't. Group E, I don't like that I'm doing this because I don't necessarily like their chances, and they didn't bring Thibaut Courtois to this tournament. I know he was coming off a torn ACL, but the dude just had an insane performance in the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund, and this team's getting older. Like, Jan Vertonghen's still there. Axel Witsel's still there. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne's still there. Lukaku's still there. They're just an older team, but I do think Belgium do have enough to finish atop of this group, because you do, like, you look at the main older people, the other statesmen in this group, but you still got, like, Amadou Onana from Everton is going to get a big move this summer. You've got Jeremy Doku, Jeremy Tielemans, Johan Bakayoko from PSV who's going to get a decent move somewhere this year. Like, there's a lot of talent within this team if you look past the elder statesmen there. I'm intrigued to see what they do in net. Sells from Nottingham Forest, I think, is going to be the starter here, but time will tell on that. Again, the no Courtois thing is kind of interesting. Like, even if he was coming back from a torn ACL, you know he's going to play again. Like, at least bring it, at least call him up to the squad. It was a weird move, but whatever. Second place in this group, it's really odd for this one because Romania won their qualifying group, didn't lose a single game, and Ukraine had to go through the playoffs. But Ukraine is just... they got a lot of talent. Obviously got the Alexander Sinchenkos of the world in there. You got Yaremchuk still in there. You've got Yarmolenko still in there. Mikhailo Mudryk. This is going to be a tournament where a lot of people are going to be turning to and saying, hey, big guy, you need to step up here. You need to step up. You got Lunin in net as well. We talked about Courtois having his heroics in the Champions League final. Lunin was a big reason why Real Madrid got to the Champions League final and some of the penalty saves he had against Manchester City. And then you got the Girona duo of Sayenkov and Dovic. Dovic, he just won the Golden Boot in La Liga. Now, 24 goals. He was one away from Alexander Sorloth. They finished second in 23. But, man, there's a lot of talent within this team. There's some decent talent. Even though they had to qualify through the playoffs, I am going to go with Ukraine finishing second. I'm going to have Romania third, and then I'm going to have Slovakia finishing in last place in this group. And then Group F, Portugal, easy one there. And then, much like I've brought up before, I struggle with the team who's going to finish second here. The Czech Republic were a very fun team to watch. Patrick Schick was the Golden Boot winner along with Cristiano Ronaldo in the 2020 Euros. Had that half-line goal against Scotland in the group stage as well. There's going to be a lot of eyes there, but Turkey's got some young players that are going to be very intriguing in this tournament. You got the likes of Yildiz from Juventus. You got the likes of Kiliksoy from Besiktas. You got the likes of Hakan Çalhanoğlu, not one of the younger statesmen of this team, but he is the captain and probably the best player on this team. Koku, who made the transfer to Benfica last year from, I believe, Feyenoord. I believe, and then Altay Bayındır. I don't know if he's going to start, but it'd be cool to see him play just a little bit. He could be the best goalie in the world. I'd never know it because the guy just never freaking plays. So, I don't know if he's going to be in this, if he's going to be in the running for one of the starters in this tournament, but hey, I just need to see the guy play. I think in the end, though, do I pick the Czechs or do I pick Turkey?
One eternity later.
Czech Republic, Turkey. Czech Republic, Turkey. I'm never a big fan of Turkey going into these major tournaments. I don't know what it is. I can never feel fully confident with them going. I'm going to go with the Czechs, and I'm going to go Turkey, and then I'm going to go Georgia coming in last. I know they got Kavica Kvaratskhelia down there. They got the Valencia goalkeeper as well, but their squad on paper is probably the weakest in the tournament. And saying that, they're probably going to finish with an insane run to the quarterfinals or something like that, which that's usually how it works out for me. But moving on to the third place rankings, and remember, this is not necessarily the next best teams in the tournament. It's all about how many points they get in the group stage. And I don't know if the order really matters because I don't really know what the exact order is going to be. But I could see the likes of Hungary going through. I think Serbia can go through. I think Austria could go through. And then this last one, like, part of me doesn't think Italy will make it. I don't know what it is. Because if you look at that group again, with likes of Spain, Croatia, Albania, again, a lot of people are not really talking about Albania even though they won their group. Like, maybe they could pull out a sneaker in there. Maybe they could. Maybe they could. So I might have them not go and have Romania in there, followed by Italy and Turkey. I don't know. Can I not click? I gotta, oh my God. Hold on, we're having technical difficulties here. Okay, I had some technical difficulties to get through, but we made it. Oh my God. Because look at this. Okay, walk through this with me. If we're looking at Group A, I think Hungary can go through in Group A. I do think they can. I think they can beat Scotland. I think they could have a decent game with Switzerland. They caused Germany some problems in Euro 2020. You look at Group B, Croatia, Italy, Albania. That'll be tough. And Spain. You can look at Group D. I think Serbia in that one can sneak a point against Slovenia. I do think they can do that. Austria, I think they can cause some problems in that group as well. And then you look at Group E, Romania. I think they can cause some problems in there as well. So I think I am going to leave Italy out. I do think I'm going to do that. That's probably insane. And that's fair. I'm just going off how many points I think they get. That's all I'm going off of. And it's crazy to think about it. It's crazy, but maybe it's right. Maybe that's exactly what I needed to do. Maybe that was exactly what happens. But round of 16, Germany, Denmark. I am going to pick Germany. Switzerland and Croatia. I'm going to pick Croatia. Spain, Romania. I'm going to pick Spain. England, Austria. I'm going to pick England. Hungary, Portugal. That's a fun game. That's a fun one. We're going to pick Portugal. Netherlands, Ukraine. I'm going to pick the Dutch. Serbia, Belgium. That'd be an interesting one. But I'm going to pick the Belgians. France and Czech, I'm going to pick France. Boring as that is, that's what I think will happen. Quarterfinals, Spain versus Germany. Again, I think being on home soil is very important here. I think Germany's got a very good squad and a very good manager. I think Spain's got a very good squad, but I am going to pick Germany in that. Portugal versus the Netherlands, I'm going to pick Portugal. I am intrigued to see how they rotate with Cristiano Ronaldo in there, being 39 years old and everything. Goncalo Ramos, he played well in the last World Cup. He got a hat trick in that tournament as well. Bruno Fernandes is still, Portugal's so good. I know we didn't really talk about Portugal, but they're so good. They got so much talent on this team. João Neves, Antonio Silva, Ruben Diaz. They've got Rafael Leao, João Felix. They're fun. They're very Bernardo Silva. There's the fun team. France and Belgium, France, Croatia, England. Rematch of the semifinals in 2018, but we're going to go England. Semifinals, Germany and Portugal. I am, again, based off recent history, I'm going to go with Germany, and then I'm going to go in France, continuing to beat England, because they did that in the 2022 World Cup with Harry Kane missed the penalty. We're going to go with France there, and then against Germany in the final, I am going to go with France. That is the most popular pick. Oh, wow. I really went out on a limb here and said Germany and France would be in the finals here. I think Portugal's squad is better than Germany's, weirdly. But I think having home field advantage will be big and play a big part for Germany in this tournament. So I'm going to have them go to the final. Is there anything I would like to change around looking back at this thing? Not really. I mean, this Italy call is going to be insane. I'm not really confident in that at all, but but something crazy always happens in these tournaments. Something crazy always happens. I don't think a lot of people expected England to lose to Iceland in 2016, and that happened. So maybe we get something like that with Italy. Again, and it's insane to say this as the reigning champions and everything, but yeah, that is my Euro 2024 predictions. Again, we'll have more Copa America stuff. We'll be following the United States throughout the tournament there as well. And yeah, Make sure to follow the Logan Blackman Show on every single form of social media we mentioned before. Links will be down in the description below. I've obviously been Logan Blackman. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you all later. Peace.